YouTube ads tutorial. Hi, it's John Armstrong here, and I have nothing to sell you inside of this video. In this video, we're going to talk about creating your product. Now, in the previous video, we talked about the type of product that you want to create. Make sure that it is broad. Make sure that it speaks to a generic, broad audience, because it's going to make your life so much easier later when we get this fired up on YouTube ads. So, if you have no idea where to start when looking for a product or looking to create a product, you know that you want to make a high ticket product, but you've got no idea where to start. Well, start by thinking about what you are good at, okay? Everybody has some type of skill, right? Everybody has some type of knowledge, whether it's something to do with fitness, whether it's something to do with making money, whether it's something to do with teaching piano, which is anything, looking after cats. There could be a number of things that you have knowledge about that you want to share with people and get paid to share it as well. If you don't have any ideas, or if you have some kind of idea of something that you might be interested in, then a good place to start is by coming over to a website called ClickBank, which you may have heard of, clickbank.com, right? So they have all of these different categories here, right? You've got health and fitness, you've got e-business and e-marketing, spirituality, self-help, home and garden, cooking, green products, business investing. There's a niche for pretty much everything here. But remember, in the previous video when I talked about the top 3 niches, health, wealth, and relationships, you make more money if you stick to one of these 3 niches. And don't worry if you think, oh, well, they're all saturated. Yes, they are. They're saturated for a reason, because there's a lot of money to be made in those categories. Now, when I first started affiliate marketing, I thought it was super saturated. I was told by all these people, oh, you need to go and pick a niche that is undersaturated, that's a blue ocean. That's not true. If you get into a red ocean, it's totally fine. In fact, it's a red ocean for a reason, because there's so much money to be made in there. The way that you can make money in a red ocean is by standing out and having a unique product, which is what we're going to do inside of this video. So it all starts off with choosing a category. And you could go into any of these categories right here. For example, health and fitness. And what you're going to look for is a product that's going to pay a lot of money. So let's see if we can find that. Okay, initial conversion high to low. Right. So generally, fitness offers or anything in the health and fitness industry, you can't charge as much for as you can with the wealth industry, okay, with the finance industry. And that totally makes sense, because what you are going to be creating is an exchange of value. So somebody in the fitness niche, I mean, it's pretty obvious that if you want to lose weight, you just need to do more exercise and eat less, right? People are not going to value the information in the health and fitness industry as much as they would in the finance industry, because if you can help somebody go from $10,000 a month to $100,000 a month, what's it worth to them? It's worth tens of thousands of dollars, right? So that's why I prefer the finance industry, the make money online industry, because you can charge a lot more, because you can deliver a lot more value, a lot more results, right? But anyway, for the sake of this demonstration, you could go through to ClickBank, sort it by high conversion, go and find one of these products that looks good, okay, and go and buy the product, right? Go and buy the product. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through the product. You're not only going to learn kind of the structure that they've put together to put their product together, but you're also going to look for flaws in the product, and you're going to see how you can improve on the product. And that's why when you enter this whole ClickBank marketplace, you need to have some kind of knowledge of the thing that you're going to go into, right? But this is a real hack of how to actually begin. So buy the product, go through the product, okay, and think of ways that you could improve the product, okay? That's one. Think of ways that you can improve the product. And secondly, how can you make it more hands-off for the end customer later on, okay? Because that is ultimately going to become a selling point. Because think about it. Most people, when they're looking for a solution, they want the solution, but they don't want the hard work that's involved in getting to that solution, right? So if you can make it so that they don't have to do much hard work at all, then that is a unique selling point for you. And that is going to really help you when it comes to the actual marketing of your product later on. So purchase somebody else's product, go through it, think of how you can improve it, and think of how you can make it less strenuous for the end user. And note those things down. Okay? Now, the other thing that you can do if you're really not an expert in anything, but you are interested in something, then, okay, firstly, you could learn about that thing, right? For example, for me, I just started getting into airsoft, okay? And I bought my first gun. Something broke. I had to take it apart. I didn't know what I was doing. I went over to YouTube. I studied a bunch of tutorials. I found out the spare parts that I needed to buy. I managed to fix it myself. And this was kind of 3 or 4 months ago. And then I've gone on to upgrade my gun, upgrade the internal parts, spec it out. And I did it all myself, all from learning from YouTube. Now, in the scale of professional airsoft tech, I would probably be like a number 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. But that's all right, because I can teach 3s and 2s and 1s the knowledge that I've already got. And that makes me more of an expert from them, and that makes them want to learn this stuff from me. So you don't need to be a number 10 in any of this stuff that you're into. You just need to be probably a number 4 or number 5 so you can teach the 3, 2s and 1s. Okay, if that makes sense. So the other thing you can do, this is a little bit of a hack, is you can go over to YouTube, right? And what you're looking for here is an up-and-coming creator that knows what they're talking about, but doesn't have a very big channel. Because what you'll find, there's a lot of really knowledgeable people on YouTube, but they don't understand how they can make a lot of money. They only understand that, okay, I'm going to be a YouTuber, I'm going to try and make some money from AdSense from YouTube, right? They don't understand that if they put a digital product together using the knowledge that they've already got, packaged it up, and sold it via YouTube ads, they could make so much more money than just relying on YouTube AdSense. So sticking with the airsoft niche, I could go in here, airsoft tech tutorial. Okay, and what I'm looking for is a pretty small channel. So like maybe this guy here, right? He's got 37,000 subscribers. Or maybe even this guy here, he's got 3,900 subscribers. This might actually be an existing brand, actually. I think it is. But what you're looking for is somebody with a small channel, and if you go to their videos, just make sure that they don't have any links in their description. Like this guy has a link to some merch. That's fine, but he doesn't have any links to like how to, any courses or anything. Whereas he absolutely could do. He could make a killing. So what you can do in this instance is you can approach this guy and say, hey, I love all of your content on YouTube. Would you be interested in putting together a course with me? I'll handle all the marketing. I'll handle all the sales. You handle the product, right? So he would go ahead and create a members area. He would put all the content in there. He would probably handle support, or you could do that together. And then you would handle the whole marketing side of it and get it to the point where it's profitable. And then you can teach him how to market it using your ads that you've made, using your sales material. And then you both become profitable. In the beginning, you probably want to do something like an 80-20 split in your favor. Why? Because you're the one that's taking the risk on the ad spend later on these YouTube ads, right? And yes, he's putting some degree of risk into it because he's making all the tutorials, but it's not a financial risk on his behalf. You're taking the financial risk, so you need to keep 80% of that. He'll still be making the other 20% of money, so he'll be happy. And then ultimately, once you get it into profit, you can teach him how to set up the ads in his account so that then you can just go 100%, 100%, if that makes sense, right? But this is a great way to find an expert, and I'm pretty certain if you approach one of these guys, they would be interested in working with you because they have the potential to make tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Now, airsoft is a very big niche. It's under the hobbies niche. Granted, it's not as big as health and fitness. It's not as big as finance, but it's still a great niche to get into. I'm not saying you should do that, but this is just an example, right? Okay, so once you have decided on the product that you are looking to put together, then you also need to think of an upsell as well, okay? Especially right now, because you could be selling your product for, say, $997, but with the prices that AdWords is charging at the moment, you could be paying $700 or $800 to acquire that customer that's paying you $1,000 or $997, meaning you're only going to make $200 profit per sale. The rest is going into ad spend, right? And that's the sad reality of how ads are kind of going at the moment. So in order to combat that, you need to have upsells in your funnel. So you might have your front end product here, and this could be $997. But then what you really want to have is an upsell, right? And you want to price this upsell anywhere from $5,000, okay, 5K, to probably 12K. And you might be thinking, oh, well, how am I supposed to create a product that's worth $12,000? It's actually pretty easy. On the front end product, this $997 product, people are getting access to a training course, right? And they might get one Q&A session a week, right? And they also get access to support. Actually, you could charge extra for live support. We've done this in the past. We've charged $97 a month for live support. That works just great, and it's a nice little recurring income that you can bring in. But ultimately, you do want to have a big, beefy upsell. Now, in my products, we have 4 or 5 beefy upsells. The first upsell is like $5,000, and then we have a $25,000, and then we have a $75,000, right? This is where you're going to be making the bulk of your money. I've got a couple of friends that have an Amazon-related product, okay? Their front-end product is $1,500. Because they're spending so much money on YouTube ads, the price for them to acquire a customer is around $1,500, right? So it means they're just breaking even by selling a $1,500 front-end product. The way they get around this is they have an $8,000 upsell, and they have around 30% of the people that buy the $1,500 product, they take the $8,000 upsell. Now, what this means is, they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a day on Google Ads, right? But what it means is that they're able to be massively in profit. I think they're making around $12 to $16 million profit per month. And it's all coming as a result of this upsell that they got, which is $8,000. So there's a saying that he who can pay the most amount of money to acquire a customer wins. And that's the way things are kind of going with YouTube ads and Facebook ads at the moment. Advertising costs are getting more expensive. You need to have some kind of upsell in there where you can actually make profit from. Even if the front end just breaks even, that's okay. You can make profit from this upsell. So what do you put into this upsell? Basically, it's just coaching. You do one-on-one coaching, or you can do group coaching sessions with your students that have bought this upsell, and you maybe do 2 sessions a week, and you go through the product. You go through the front-end product with them, okay? It could be one-on-one, it could be group coaching. It's up to you how you do that. But that's all that people want. People want that extra hand-holding. People want to get to the result that they're looking for in in a faster time frame. And by having that hand-holding and that one-on-one attention, they're able to do that, okay? They have that accountability, right? So people are willing to pay that amount of money, okay? Don't worry that this is an expensive price to be selling for. Yes, it is, but people are willing to pay that to get the result that they want, okay? So this upsell would be sold over the phone. You can't sell over the phone. Well, I wouldn't recommend selling over the phone for anything less than $3,000. So if any of the price points is over $3,000, you've got to get people on the phone because, well, there are ways of doing it without getting them on the phone, but generally speaking, you need to get them on the phone for anything over $3,000. They need to speak to somebody. Now, we're going to talk more about phone call funnels later on in this video series, but for now, I'm going to show you how to structure your product. So if you found somebody on YouTube that's going to do this for you, then this is what you need to show them. If you're going to create this product yourself, then this is what you need to do. Open up a Google Doc, okay? And you're going to map out your entire training. Now, this is my training map that I made for Dynasty of Freedom, which I released a couple of years ago. And it's all about YouTube ads, it's all about funnels, it's all about webinars. And the people that have bought this have gone on to make hundreds of thousands a month. There's actually, this is a little shameless plug, but if you click on the link down below in the description, you will ultimately be able to find this product, right? Anyway, back to it. So you need to map it out. First of all, you map it out with your module headline. So here we've got the intro and the overview. And then these bullet points, each one of these bullet points is a video, right? So inside of intro and overview, we've got the welcome module, which talks about how the module is going to unlock, don't skip around, how to get support, how the Facebook group's going to work, all of that kind of stuff, right? And then the next module that I had was mindset training, right? So I've got a few different videos in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then you break that down, each video down into bullet points of things that you're going to talk about inside this individual video. So you would start off with all of these main module headlines, right? And this is going to become the framework of your product. And then you break that down into separate videos. And you make sure that by the end of all the videos in that module, you have made it crystal clear exactly what that module is about and what they have achieved inside of that module, right? So this is quite time consuming, right? You can see there's quite a few pages in here because there's a lot of content that went into this. But the point is that failure to plan is planning to fail. So you got to write this stuff down. You got to know exactly what you're talking about. Once you've done it, read through it 3 or 4 times to make sure that you haven't missed anything. Yeah? If you're basing your product off somebody else's product that you bought on ClickBank, make sure that you have included all of the key points and you've included all of your points of how to actually further improve that. And if you are going to do this method where you're taking somebody else's product from ClickBank, make sure that you reword it in your own words. Don't just straight up copy paste what they've done because that's plagiarism, right? You can't do that. You've got to put it into your own words, right? And you've got to put a lot of thought into this. The more thought and the more stuff that you get into this map right here, the less work you'll have to do later on, right? So once you've got that, then you need to start setting up your members area. Now, I use Kajabi for my members areas. It's probably not the cheapest option, but it's the one that I'm familiar with, and I think it looks pretty professional. So here, this is actually pretty easy to do because all I'm doing is I'm taking the modules from this brain poo that I had. I'm taking all of these modules and I'm mapping it out into Kajabi. As you can see, we've got the welcome module, the Facebook, we've got the mind and body training, we've got the product. You know, this is all taken from here. Mind and body training, product, okay, funnel and pixels, optimize. All of this stuff is taken from there. So we've done all of the planning. We've done 90% of the work in this Google Doc right here. Next thing that you need to do is go and add in all of your videos, right? You don't need to record them straight away, but at least you can map it out inside of here. So for example, in this product module here, I've got the intro video, okay? I've got all of this stuff, right? So you can add those into Kajabi, and then you would go over to Canva and create the video thumbnails for each video that you have mapped out in here. It's pretty easy. You would just go to Canva, create a design, choose YouTube thumbnail, which is 1280 by 720, and then you just go and design it in Canva. I'm not going to show you how to do that because it's pretty straightforward, right? So once you've done that, then it's time to move on to support. How are people going to get in touch with you? And don't skip this one, because once you start scaling your ads, I mean, I was getting over 100 people, 100 new customers a day entering into my members area. And everybody has problems. No matter how good your training is, everybody is going to have a problem. So you need to make sure that you have your support set up and working before you even open this up to the public. You got to make sure that you have your support system ready. So the one that I use, it's called Zoho.com. Okay, there's also another one which is called Zendesk, but Zoho works brilliantly. You can even embed like a support ticketing system into Kajabi, and it makes it very, very streamlined. Now, later on, you are going to have to start hiring team members to help you out, because your focus is just going to be taken up mostly by marketing and advertising and setting up your ads, scaling your ads, tweaking your ads. That's a full-time job, right? So you need to find people that you can put in place to help with support, people that you can put in place to help with your Facebook group, to help you, coaches that you need in there to help with the Q&As and stuff like that. So the way that I did it, and the way that I think is the best, is once you've opened your product up, and we're going to talk about this later on because you're going to release it, if you have an email list or you have a following on maybe Instagram or YouTube or something like that, you can open this up to 10 people, right? Beta testers. And what they're going to do is they're going to go through your product, they're going to learn it, okay? And you're going to help them to get results. I'll talk about this more in a minute. But the point is, what you want to do, and this is what I did, is take your 3 best students, the people that were the most serious, the people that got the best results, the people that know your product inside out, approach them and say, hey, do you want to work for me? Do you want to be my support assistant? Do you want to be my head of coaching? Whatever it is, you can hire those people to help you out with the product. This is exactly what I did, and that's why I've got such a good team. So that's what I recommend that you do when it comes to support. Okay. The other thing that you need to do after you've got your members area set up is integrate it with your payment processor. Now, inside of Kajabi, you can actually do this directly with Stripe. If you have a Stripe or a PayPal account, you can integrate your Stripe and PayPal directly inside of Kajabi. I don't really recommend Stripe and PayPal, especially if you are in the fitness niche, if you're in the make money online niche, the finance niche, because there is going to come a time, it is absolutely inevitable, where they're going to start holding your funds. And that is a real killer for cash flow, right? It means that you can't reinvest that money back into ads, you can't scale, you're just going to stay stuck at a certain point. At one point in my business, Stripe was holding $300,000, and they held it for over 6 months. And that put an end to my ability to be able to scale, because that was my profit at that point in time. So by all means, you can use Stripe and PayPal to start off with once you get some initial traction, but I definitely recommend moving over to a different payment processor. Now, I'm going to talk about this in my next video. There's 3 different payment processes that are great that I've been using. I'll talk to you about them in the next video. But once you have your product set up, once you have your members area set up, once you have basic support in place, I mean, you can take care of support in the first few weeks or the first month while you're working with your beta testers. Once you have everything set up, then you need to start getting beta testers in there, and you're looking for 10 people. Now, ideally, if you have some kind of following on Instagram or YouTube, you could make a simple video saying, hey, this is what I made. This is what my product looks like. I'm looking for 10 beta testers to test this out to make sure that it works. People, especially if they're following you on these social media platforms, and especially if you're putting out good content, they are definitely going to want to be one of your beta testers, right? Once you've got 10 people in there, then you need to work with those people intensively and get them results as fast as you can. So whether that's losing weight, whether it's making their first $100 online, whatever it is, you need to work with them intensively. I mean, when I opened up Ministry of Freedom, which was my flagship course, I got 10 beta testers in there, and we had daily Zoom calls every single day where I fast-tracked their process and I got them results within their first week. Why is this so important? Because once you've got results, you've got testimonials. And testimonials, especially when we're going to be running this product with YouTube ads to what's called a cold audience, people that have no idea who you are, your word is not good enough. You need to have testimonials. Once they see testimonials, they speak 1,000 words, and they're going to help you ultimately to sell even more of your products. So do not skip this step. Make sure that you get 10 beta testers in there. Work with them intensively until you get them results as fast as possible, right? Once you have results for all of these people, you have testimonials, right? And this can be one of the prerequisites for them to be a beta tester. You have to say, in order for you to be a beta tester, yes, I'm going to give you access to my product for free, but the condition is that you give me a video testimonial and a written testimonial at the end of it. If they don't agree to it, don't accept them as a beta tester. You want to have, that is the most important thing, right? Because that is going to help you out with your sales material later on. Now, once you've got those people results, then it's time to actually launch your product. And the best way to launch it is if you already have a following on social media or you have an email list, you can open this up and you can give people discount coupons for the first week, right? You can give discount coupons for the first week and you can get maybe 40, 50 people in there. And what that's going to do is that's going to get you easy $20,000 to $30,000 that you've generated for free, and that is going to be your ad spend, okay? Because you're going to need quite a lot of ad spend. We're going to burn probably $10,000 without making any profit back in the beginning, just gathering data, just testing ads, just split testing different things, right? And that's an essential step of running ads. You need to have around $10,000 that you're willing to completely burn in order to get that data. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So by launching this to your following or your list, you can get that $20,000, $30,000 of initial ad spend that you're going to need. And then we're going to turn that $20,000 or $30,000 into that $100,000 a month plus by scaling later on. Anyway, I know that this video has gone on for quite a long time. If you are interested in the full 12-part video series of this, then click in the link down below in the description of this video. In the next video, we're going to talk about the best type of payment processor, especially for fitness, as supplements, and also make money online in 2024. So stay tuned and I'll see you there.